Okay guys, I've taken my hat off in reverence of this place we're at. Behind me is what's known as the Illinois Monument, and without sounding melodramatic, because you can say, well, because I'm here, that I can. Look, this may very well be the point where our modern democracy gave birth or was formed. So let me tell you what this means. What we're at here is a place called the Dead Angle. The Dead Angle was a little protruding angle in Cheatham Hill. I would say Chatham Hill, but Cheatham Hill. And so behind these lines, in front of me would have been the Confederates, and behind me over there would have been the Union soldiers who stormed the Dead Angle. Now the real fascinating thing about the Dead Angle was that it came to a point whereby it becomes too steep beyond me down there for the rifle muskets to point down. So the Union soldiers, whilst getting absolutely clobbered while trying to get up this hill, could actually burrow themselves about 30 feet from me, or 30 feet from the enemy, straight down. And so I say that this could be the crucible in the sense that the Union soldiers got absolutely clobbered, but ultimately came back to find that the Confederates had left their fortifications, moved across the Chattahoochee River because their lines had broken elsewhere. But essentially this is where Sherman came through the Confederate lines, ultimately to march on to take Atlanta. So this is where they broke. This is it, folks. This is where I guess the big kahuna happened. In addition, there was, whilst the fighting was going on, it took a few days. They talk about Lieutenant Moore, I think it was, from the Confederate side. There was just dead bodies just laying everywhere, and I believe some were buried down there, although they've been exhumed and moved to the Marietta Cemetery. They called an armistice, a 2-hour armistice, where they stopped firing on each other and actually went out of their fortments and buried their dead where they lay. So sobering thought indeed. And I didn't want to make too much light of the situation. Well, the hairs got messed up. Didn't want to make too much light of the situation, but the democracy that these fine gentlemen ultimately fought and died for, I feel, is in a bit of jeopardy. The world changes, things turn, and democracy, as we've grown up with, is now have some competing political systems. And you look at China, for example, where China absolutely extols the virtues of the Alibabas and the Tencents, where they're actually protecting them and helping them grow. And then you've got the US, which is antitrust legislation within the US, which doesn't allow that kind of nurturing to take place. So I get it, it's different times for different places, but you are seeing a different kind of democracy forming in China, if you can call it a different political system, one that we need to be wary of, because our antitrust legislation doesn't carry forward to international treaties. You've seen how China's now basically taken control, monopolized the rare earth industry, and that's what dictatorships can do. They can create monopolies. So we got to watch out for that.